See, look, I've tried to forget the things I've done. I'm not proud of them. Sometimes it's hard to live with what you are. Makes life a lot more bearable if you can just forget them or pretend they never happened.
But you do remember?
Oh, yeah, sure. I can remember everything.
Look, mate, nobody knows any better than I how you feel about the law. But you've got to get things into perspective. I've got the evidence that could convict her. What do I do? You know me. Justice has always been everything to me. Do I spit on that because I'm in love with her? Do I turn my back on her because of the law? I can't, man. I can't do either.
So I think the council has had its run and it's time to give it away.
What?
And I've decided I'm stepping down.
But everything's all right now.
Well, not exactly. You see, he didn't like what he heard. And he wants you dead. Now.
Surely we can work something out. Look, we won't breathe a word to anyone.
Of course not. You won't have any breath left.
But maybe I can explain. I mean, after all, you can't judge a book by its cover, can you, dear?
No, that's right. You see, I only wear this silly cardigan because
lady,
she
you're
made
dead.
it for... I'm allowed one last wish, aren't I?
Okay, I wouldn't be seen dead in it either. Now, let's take it off.
Oh, shoot! Oh, there's no bullets in it!
Hit the bagger with it then!
No.
So funny.
The look on your faces.
Congratulations, ladies. You just passed your first test.
The bloody thing's always been a waste of time.
Yeah, it's like having two bunches of screws hassling us, eh, girl?
The whole point of having a democracy is so the majority...
Get all high and mighty and go around sticking it up everyone else. Dave lurched the boot, didn't you?
Real democratic, that.
She abused her position with a slight push from you. Yeah.
Couldn't we elect new members and keep it going, no?
It's not my decision, love. It's up to all the women. Anyone can have a say.
Well, why don't we do an article about it in the paper and have one of them gallop?
Look, it is bloody obvious, if you ask me. Nobody wants the council except yous who are on it.
Oh, that's not fair.
Look, it has never helped anybody and it never will.
That's not what you said when we pitched in and helped with your screen prints.
So it's 1 out of 10. What sort of average is that?
Look, if opinion is so divided, why don't you all have a vote?
Oh, forget it. Voting never helped anything in this dump.
No, I think we should have a vote on it.
Yeah, why not, eh?
All right. Then hands up all those who reckon the council stinks.
That's it then. No more council.
I couldn't have said it better myself.
Well, we've still got you as top dog, Nora, even if we haven't got a council.
Only till you find someone else.
But you can't...
Look, I didn't want this job in the first place. It didn't work, so I'm calling it quits.
Well, what do you know?
After we agree on someone else. Someone who's prepared to look after everyone's interests, not just their own. It's up to all of you to decide. And the sooner the better.
I hope you're all happy. Maybe she'll change your mind.
Why? It's the smartest move she ever made.
Hang on a minute,
I don't want to
Nora.
talk about it, Laura. I know you mean well. I've made up my mind. I've had enough.
Can't you listen for just a minute? Look, I believed in the council. So did you.
Maybe they were right. I mean, I was starting to feel like a cop. All we ever did was punish people. As if it isn't bad enough in here as it is.
And what about the newspaper and the weekly meetings with Reno? She's been trusting us.
Not anymore. Not after the cell search.
That wasn't your fault.
Yeah, I know. But don't you see, there's always going to be someone running a racket or stealing or doing
That's why we need a council. And you as top dog.
Julie, I've been in the nick for 23 years. I thought there might have been a way with a council. But I'm not turning into a bully, not for anyone.
No one expects...
Oh, not interrupting anything, are we? Like a Wentworth's has-beens convention.
It's a free world, Kelly. Bugger off.
Yeah, it is now. Dog eat dog.
And I wonder what came first,
The chicken or the egg brain?
I don't know what you mean.
How long do you reckon it's going to be before she moves in and tries to take over? She's itching to.
I won't let her.
No one else can stop her.
I said I won't let her. And I won't.
Look,
Look, I'm telling you, Lurch, it'll be a pushover.
You reckon?
Look, she's finished. She didn't even bite back when I had a go at her in the corridor.
Yeah, but what about the last time you tried?
Oh, this is different. She ain't got nothing. No counsel, no muscle. She's all on her own, some.
Yeah, but what about her saying it's got to be someone who'll look after us?
What are you looking at her? I mean, who else is there?
Oh, well, I thought I could sort of have a...
You? The top dog needs brains, a calculating mind. Why not? I'm busy.
If you've got any ideas of taking over as top dog, you can forget about it.
Is that a fact?
Like I said, I'm staying until the right person comes along, and you're not it.
Oh, and since when did you start playing God?
When I was elected top dog. I didn't come this far just to let you ruin everything.
It's up to us to vote for who we want.
Yes, why don't you rack off and cry on your pretzels? Of course, we can always help you on your way if you...
What's going on here?
We was just talking about the past, Miss Ferguson. Isn't that right?
Yeah, well, I've got some interesting news about the future. And it concerns your mate Keen. So if you're interested, and I'm sure you are, I suggest you get yourselves along to the rec room and listen to the announcement.
Well, Beecham, she was in punts for starters. Then you get Auntie May carrying on like a bloody school teacher half the time with some counsel.
Yeah, well, maybe you deserved it. Is that
No,
occurred
don't
to you?
start, Chook.
And it's not fair to criticise people when they're not here to defend themselves. Hey, do you reckon if we talk to Nora, she'd stay on as top dog?
No, not the mood she's in.
Well, who else are we going to get? Who do you reckon? Lou's already off making
Oh,
plans.
geez, that's all we need, eh? Come on, Jules, I'll give you a game of pool, and if you stop being such a pain in the bum, I'll let you win.
I'm going to do some piano practice.
Stop frowning, you'll get crow's feet.
Right. Was Nora all right? She seemed really down when she left.
Yeah. Eve, what do you think about the council?
Chooky!
I suppose it's a good idea, but I won't be here long enough to get involved, will I?
Why do you always...
All right, you lot. I've got some news for you. Thank you, Graham. Concerns you, Keen. Looks as though you're going to be with us for some time.
You mean they're not sending me back to Ingleside?
They never were.
But we thought Mrs. Reynolds told Nora they were.
Then Flynn's been leading you up the wrong street. You see, those examinations you had, Keen, they were to see if you were eligible for release or not. And as usual, you failed them with flying colours. Just thought you'd like to know. Carry on.
Looks like you stuffed up again, eh, Flynn?
You mean we done all that work for nothing?
Oh, it's not her fault.
I must have misunderstood what Reynolds said. I'm going to say I'm sorry.
You stupid bitch! You screwed the whole thing. I could have been on my way out of here.
Said I was sorry.
Oh, that's not much good now, is it? I'm stuck here and I'm...
Oh, I'm sorry. So much for little Miss Innocent, eh? I don't like being made a fool of. What the hell are you on about anyway? That was some sort of stunt you pulled out there.
Look, I don't know. It's like I've got no control over it. I'm sorry, Nora.
Tears are an easy way to get out of trouble.
I didn't mean it, honest. I told you what happened.
All right, I believe you.
Oh, Nora, I don't want that feeling to come back. I'm so scared.
Look, I've got an idea that might help. It's a long shot, but if it works...
Yeah, things are going to be changing around here when the new top dog takes over.
Yeah, whole new ball game, eh, Lou?
Oh, ball game, bet and ring 2 up. You name it, I'll be running it.
Hey,
You mean we, don't you?
That's what I said, we.
you don't think Chook's going to try and take over, do you?
She's doing a lot of talking over there.
Yeah, she's breaking half if I blew on her. What's this?
Yeah, but then that time, like, she just backed off and then apologised for it. I couldn't...
Oi!
Oh, for heaven's sake.
Oh, sorry, darling, just slip down.
What'd you do that for?
Well, I can't help it if Eggbrain's got the jitters.
Oh, very funny.
Yeah, it was, wasn't it?
Well, I guess that counts you out of the top dog stakes. You don't crack under pressure.
Yeah, like Flynn.
Okay, you made your point, now rack off and don't ever touch Chook again.
You all right?
Yeah, fine. What'd Reb say?
Yeah, give us a full confession.
She's not faking it.
I don't believe it. What does it take to convince anyone around here?
Well, I believe her and I still want to help her.
How, Nor?
Oh, plug her into a PowerPoint again, or maybe give her another razor blade, eh?
I'm going to front Reynolds and tell her what we did. Maybe they'll change their minds and release her.
Dob yourself in. You're madder than I thought.
You're not going to lag on us, are you? Don't worry, I'll say it was all my idea.
Oh, suit yourself. Come on, Lurch, I'll give you a game of cards. These loonies might be contagious.
I'll go with you.
You don't have to, Julie.
No, I want to.
Look, Goodwin, I can't desert her now.
I know. That's why we need you as top dog.
I'll go and tell Red what we're going to do.
Did you enjoy Europe?
Oh, yes, I had a lovely time. So did Lexi. We became quite good friends, actually. That's why she asked me to call you.
I see. Did she tell you much about her mother?
Not really. Except that she'd love to see you when she comes back from overseas.
I'm sure she would.
She said to tell you she sends all her love.
Young lady, what is it that you want?
Pardon?
You heard me. I said, what is it you want? Money?
No. Like I said, just to say hello from Lexi. She's been meaning
Rubbish. I've sat here and I've listened to your lies for long enough. If it isn't money you want, what is it? Jewellery? Valuables?
Oh, no, you're making a mistake.
Don't you treat me like an idiot, girl. Just because I live a comfortable life, it doesn't mean to say I'm prepared to be blackmailed by the likes of you.
I'm not, please.
Well, you better have a more plausible explanation. Otherwise, I'll have no choice but to call the police.
So you decided to fool Dr. Weissman?
We only did it because we didn't want Reb to be sent back to Ingleside.
I warned you against abusing a position of trust. Obviously, I wasted my time.
It was my idea, Mrs. Reynolds. I asked her to look into the file.
Look, they didn't mean any harm. I was terrified of having to go back there. They're my friends. Good friends.
Obviously. However, I can't condone behaviour of this kind, no matter what the reason. Especially you, Egbert.
I'm sorry, Mrs. Reynolds.
You'll be informed of your punishments as soon as I've decided what's most appropriate. But I'd count on spending a lot more time in the laundry if I were you. That'll be all.
What about Reb?
What about her?
Is Wiseman going to get a release? There's a case for it
For
now.
the last time, leave it to the experts. If and when something's decided, Keene will be told. Miss Ferguson, would you take the women back to the dining room, please?
Yes, Governor. Come on, move.
Lynn? Won't be a moment. Frankly, I expected more from you.
You and me both.
Oh?
Oh, nothing. I've just been having a hard time lately, that's all.
If there's any trouble brewing with the women, I want to know about it.
We'll sort it out for ourselves, okay?
I know it's not always easy being top dog, but I do expect cooperation when there's trouble. It's the women who ultimately suffer.
Don't you think I know that, Mrs. Reynolds? For God's sake, I did my best.
Did your best?
Like I said, we'll sort it out for ourselves.
Are you top dog or not?
Nothing's changed, if that's what you mean.
That's not what I mean. Is someone else trying to take over? Jenkins or Kelly?
All right. I am still top dog. Now can I go?
Everything all right, Governor?
Yes, thank you. She was just leaving.
I inherited the estate from my grandmother. So you see, really, I've no need for money.
Your grandmother? It's not old Mrs. Hartley of...
Stonehaven, yes. She died recently.
Yes, I heard. And you met my daughter when you were in jail.
Oh, no,
It's all right. You needn't beat around the bush. I've known all along she was in prison.
That's why you thought I was trying to blackmail you?
All that nonsense about travelling around Europe.
Lexi didn't want you to know. She didn't want you to feel ashamed.
Oh.
I've never been a very good liar. My grandmother used to just look at me and I turned bright red.
That was a terrible business. A grandmother's murder. And prison must have been a dreadful experience for you.
There's not much to look forward to, except getting out. Or visitors.
Yes.
Couldn't you go and visit her? She's dying to see you, despite what she says.
It's just not that easy.
It'd mean so much to her.
I'm sure, but perhaps I should explain something.
It works.
Sorry to keep you waiting, ladies.
Well, what did the jury decide?
Negative.
But you
Never
can't.
mind. We should have known better than to
Team up with a bunch of rank amateurs.
I'd watch it if I were you.
As if this country hasn't enough decent criminals without importing foreigners.
You're lucky we don't send you a bill for the time we've wasted.
Don't push it, lady.
We'll make up for it with those other jobs.
Oh, and what would they be?
Well, there's
Let's
the one...
just say we've got more work than we need.
Maybe I've been checking around and haven't heard about any.
Maybe you haven't been here long enough to know where to start looking. Time we went, Willie.
Okay, you win. You win. Fact is, I like your style, and I'm ready to do business. Interested?
Flynn, you've lost buy-out for the next 2 weeks. Egbert, the same. You can also forget about working in reception for the next 3.
But that's not fair.
Something you'd like me to hear, Graham?
Oh, no, Miss Ferguson.
Really handling things well, eh, Flynn?
Yeah, it's worth it if it means Reb gets released.
Oh, you wouldn't catch me copping a charge for someone else. Not if I could help it.
Lay off. It's hard enough for us as it is.
Oh, my heart bleeds.
We don't regret doing it, believe me.
Oh, anyone got a sob story? Ma Flynn here will do a couple of days in the pound for you. But it's got to be as good as Keen's.
Look, lay off, Kelly.
Listen, sweetheart, you might have all these suckers fooled, but not me.
Kelly!
Just leave me alone! All of you.
Oh, don't bother saying thanks, will you?
Come in.
Visitor? Thank you. I'm sorry to bother you.
Not at all. This is the 3rd time I've read this departmental report, and I still can't make head or tail of it.
Yes, public service has a way with words.
Sit down.
No, thanks, I won't stay. I just wanted to return these keys to Eve Wilder's apartment. Sorry for the delay.
Did you find what you were looking for?
Oh, yes. Sort of. It's pretty straightforward.
Half your luck. I wish I could say the same about all this.
Yes, I don't envy you. I was wondering if I might see Miss Wilder since I'm here.
It is rather late. Nothing wrong, is there?
No, nothing like that. It's, I just want to go over some details while they're fresh in my mind.
Fine, I'll arrange an officer for you.
I don't trust that American. He's slimy. And what about when the job's over? What if he tries something?
Well, we'll be too quick for him, just like we were today.
I was quite proud of you, outsmarting them like that. And not just once, either.
You did some pretty fast talking yourself. I don't think he liked being called a foreigner.
No. But what about when you knocked the gun out of Dan's hand? Now, that was far more courageous than anything I did.
Oh, nonsense. Look, I couldn't have done it if you hadn't distracted him with that line about one last wish. And you were the one that pulled the trigger. That finally convinced them.
Only because you knocked the gun out of Dan's hand.
After you distracted him, yes.
And I suppose you don't think you were brave answering that American back.
Oh, for God's sake, Willie, shut up. We can't even pat each other on the back without arguing about it.
I'm not arguing about it. I'm simply saying that you were braver than I was, the way you outsmarted that American.
Stop the panic.
You mean you really do care about us?
As a matter of fact, yeah. How'd you go?
We got the job, of course. With May's skills and my charm, they didn't have any choice, did they?
Good. When's it on?
Tomorrow night?
It doesn't waste any time. Hey, listen, are you sure you're up to this?
I'll manage.
Good. Brought your heart starter. Bit of a kick in the head.
Thanks. I don't suppose they sell reconditioned legs in that shop, do they? Cheers.
Cheers.
God, I've missed you.
I have to talk to you.
Surely we don't need
I went to your apartment yesterday.
Why? Why did you do that?
Eve, I found the bullet in the mattress.
Oh, God. Oh, I was a fool to think you wouldn't find it. Oh, God.
Please, don't. What is it?
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought I heard you call. Is she all right?
Yes. Look, it's very painful going over some of this evidence, and being disturbed doesn't help.
Yes, of course. I'm sorry.
Oh, Eve, why did you do it?
I didn't have any choice. He used to make me do things, and if I didn't, he hit me.
Why didn't you leave?
I tried, but he threatened me. He said he'd come after me. I didn't know what to do. I was so frightened. I couldn't talk to anybody.
Must have been horrific.
I couldn't stand it any longer. When he tried it again, I killed him.
Oh, Eve, why didn't you tell me this before?
Because I didn't want you to leave me. I need you so much.
And I need you more than you can realize.
What are we going to do?
Nothing. We'll stay with the original defense. I'm sure I can win.
Hold me.
Thank you. Goodbye.
This is the last cup I'm making you.
Oh, that was Inspector Gordon. He said May and Willie were safe and sound.
Oh, what a relief.
Yes. I'll be glad when this whole exercise is over. It's making me very nervous.
It's probably lack of food. Haven't you heard of a thing called dinner?
Oh, damn, I better ring Pippa. I said I'd be home for dinner.
Hello, Luigi's Pizza Parlor, Benito speaking.
Oh, I must have dialed the wrong number. I'm sorry.
And it's Ben here. Pippa's just gone down the street if you want to talk to her.
Could you tell her I'll be home soon? I've been caught up with paperwork and late-night lawyers.
Someone sounds eager.
Your friend David Adams, actually. He was returning Eve Wilder's keys. Seems awfully run down at the moment, I must say.
When did he borrow the keys?
Yesterday, to go over the apartment. Something wrong?
No, just curious. You're right, he's working himself into the ground. So will you if you're not careful.
Not likely. See you in half an hour.
Yes, cheers.
Oh, Ben, is Pippa back yet?
I'm sorry, what?
Nothing. Not bad news, I hope.
No, not for me. I think a friend of mine just jumped into very deep water. Without a life jacket. Thanks, Rich.
Anything else, sir? We do have fresh croissants this morning.
Oh, what a good
Perfect.
idea. Mr. Adams will have two. If he doesn't eat them, I will.
I
said no, thank you. Tea in about 10 minutes, thanks, mate.
Very well, sir.
And be careful also. Reg is only the breakfast waiter, but strange things have happened to people who don't.
Ben, it's nearly 9 o'clock. I really have to get going. Now, is there any reason for this? Because if
Well,
not...
we needed a reason for breakfast at the club. Now, come on, relax.
How the hell am I supposed to do that? Apart from trying to force-feed me, all you've talked about since we've been here is the dark circles under my eyes, my shaking hands, and the fact that I haven't combed my hair.
Well, then we'll change the subject.
Thank you.
You told Eve you found the bullet. Drop the case, please.
I don't know where you got that notion from.
You're not even guilty, and now I know why.
All right, so I was wrong. I misunderstood something she said.
Not with me, mate. Please. You got the keys to the apartment from Anne Reynolds. It was after that you told me she was guilty.
Reynolds had no right to tell you that.
Why not? You're going about this like a complete novice. And what if the police find out? I didn't. I wasn't even trying.
Yeah, well, they won't if you keep your mouth shut.
I do not believe any of this. Do you realize what you are doing to yourself? David.
Hi, Jen. Geez, you look real upmarket, eh?
Hope that's a compliment.
I even know me to be nasty. Look, what's it like, eh?
Out there?
Yeah.
Oh, wonderful. Remember when I first met you? I didn't care what happened to me.
Yeah, you're a real wimp, eh?
Sure was. Being in prison teaches you an awful lot.
Have you been to the pictures?
No, I've been staying out of places that make me feel closed in. Just going for long walks, eating when I'm hungry. I even leave the bedroom door open at night.
Real, eh?
How is everyone?
Well, you know, usual downer. Nora and Jules just lost buy-up for 2 weeks.
Why?
Addison, no discussing other inmates. You know the rules.
I'm sorry, Miss Ferguson. I didn't say hello. How are you?
Don't get too smart, Hartley. I can easily terminate your visit.
Yes, but I'm sure you'd much rather stand there and make us feel uncomfortable, wouldn't you? And it's Miss Hartley.
Get on with it.
Jeez, I'm gonna do that one day.
Come on, let's walk. Lexi, I went to see your mum.
God, didn't waste any time, did you?
How is she? Oh, she's very well.
That good, eh?
Got anything else to tell me? Lexi, she knows you're in here. But you promised me you wouldn't tell her. I mean, you promised. I didn't. But you must have.
Lexi, I didn't.
She already knew. But then why didn't she come? I wish I didn't have to tell you. She said her friends wouldn't understand. Something about her new social circle not tolerating a long-lost daughter who suddenly turns up in prison. I asked her to come and see you. She sends her best wishes and says she's sorry. I think it's dreadful.
Why? You don't know what she's been through, do you? I mean, she's worked her way up from the bottom. Now she's got to stay there. I'd have done the same. Thanks for going to see her, Jen. Going back inside, Miss Ferguson. Bye.
You really should visit her more often, Miss Hartley. You've cheered her up no end. Sign out before you leave.
Well? What are you going to do?
Take the case to court and win it.
Can you? I don't know where that damn bullet was, but obviously it proves she's guilty.
What bullet?
David. David. Carry on with this and you are through. Finished. I don't mean you'll lose the case. If you've done what I think you've done, there's no evidence to convict her. Now, what are you going to do when it's all over? Live happily ever after with a murderess? Because that's what she is. She doesn't love you, mate. She's using you.
Leave it, Ben, please.
Let somebody else take over. Call the police, tell them what you know.
Or you will.
I don't think there's much danger of that, is there? I'm wanting to save you, not convict her. Lady with the scars is worth 10 of her, mate. Thanks, Richard.
Thank you, sir.
I think Mr. Adams wants a telephone at his table. You arrange it?
Of course, sir.
I'm not kidding you. The day after I get out of this joint, I'm coming back to do what Jen did to the free.
Wish we'd have seen it.
Oh, Dad said it was way out. I thought Ferguson was going to chuck a hand in for it.
Hey, be careful.
Oh, bugger it.
Better throw them in the wash again.
What? It's just a bit of ash.
I thought that's what we do all
Oh,
this
yeah,
for.
okay. It was just an accident, so lay off. Come on, Lex, I'll give you a hand. Not helpless, am I? Wish you wouldn't worry about it so much. Don't know what you're talking about.
Your mum. Anyway, she might change her mind and come and see you. Daffy's mum did.
Hey, come on. My old lady's not in the same league as Daffy's mum.
I don't know why you stick up for her like that. You're her daughter. She's got no right to pretend.
Okay, Chucky. You're my best mate. You don't know nothing. I mean, she's made it. She's on top of that heap because she's a top lady.
Yeah, but that doesn't
But
mean...
nothing. Bloody hell. I mean, she has beaten that whole stinking system. She's laughing at it. You want her to chuck the lot in?
Jeez, I don't know why they let me loose with this thing. I just seem to get in every bugger's way.
It's just going to take long. I'd like to get to my room.
Why, what's the matter, gorgeous? Got to do some running repairs on the face, have we?
You got a short memory, Lou.
Oh, I know. It's terrible, isn't it? Lucky I'll be top dog soon. I'll have a secretary to do all that stuff for me.
Oh, you must drop me a line. Tell me all about it.
I told you the council was going to slam the bag. Oh, and let me tell you something else. The minute I take over, guess who's first on my list?
You waste.
You, gorgeous. I'm going to give you a facial that'll last you a lifetime.
Well, you're going to have to send it to me. Sorry to disappoint you, but I won't be here. But I will think about you. Every time the little man comes to take the garbage, I'll think of you.
Come on, you two. You can talk in the rec room.
Sorry, Mrs. Morris. Lou was just giving me some advice, weren't you, Lou?
Yeah.
Have you finished with the telephone, sir?
No. Senior Detective Peters, homicide. I'll wait. No. Damn you, Fulbright. Damn you.
Will he tell the police? David?
Sorry?
Will Ben Fulbright tell the police?
I don't think so, no. He was leaving that to me.
But if we can't be sure,
Well,
then...
I can't be, can I? All right, he's possibly my best friend, and there's every chance I know him better than anyone else in the world, but no, I can't be sure.
Please,
Look, he told me what to do and then left me to do it. Does that sound like the sort of person who'd... No, I don't think he will, but I'm not a bloody mind reader, am I? Oh, I'm sorry, Eve, I'm sorry. I didn't mean that.
Oh, perhaps Ben is right. Perhaps you should tell the police. I'm destroying you, David.
Oh, no.
No. Let me say it, please. All I've been able to think about is spending the rest of my life with you. But I haven't considered you.
Don't you think that I want exactly the same thing? But if there was anything I could do...
Well, perhaps there is. There's a key to my apartment taped under my car. Please, darling, the only thing that's keeping us apart is in that bedroom. It's already destroyed one life. Why should it destroy two more?
Well, I reckon we'll be all right. I've still got a packet of biscuits and hot dog and chocolate last night.
Oh, we'll be able to go mad then.
Like last, as long as we can.
And the rest of you will be right. I still think we've got a few games left.
Oh, big bugger, boosting best dressed, Lexi. I still think you're wrong. I know it looks bad, but I reckon she's just muddled up.
Maybe you're right. It's just that I've got this gut feeling. The trouble is, we've only got Kelly and Murch who know what she was like before.
There's always the library.
The library?
Yeah, there's a book in there called Psychological Systems Elaborate. It's by Jung. I read it that time we were trying to help Daffy.
Sorry, I'm not with you.
Well, there might be something in it that'd explain what Reb's going through.
You think so?
It's worth a try.
Let's go.
If it's not here, I'll never be able to show my face in Wentworth again. Ah, here we are. Check with Reynolds, ask if any old acquaintances of Keen's are still in Wentworth.
You were certainly on the right track. The women got into our files and read her old charge sheets. Keene memorized them.
I knew there was something wrong. Her answers were too rehearsed. There was no character recognition. She was the same pleasant person reciting off these horrendous crimes as if they were a part of a shopping list.
The point is now she knows. Do you think it'll have any bearing on her parole?
Well, I can't say till I've spoken to her. You see, what she told me had nothing to do with a memory. Well, not a memory experience, anyway. Yes, she knows all about her past, but what's her attitude to it? And that's the important thing. What does she think about the old Reb Keene?
Yeah? Just came to see how you was doing. Yeah, well, I do a lot better without people staring at me. That's better, just like the old days. You'll be telling me to rack off next.
Oh, look, I'm sorry. What did you want?
I'll tell you something, Keene. If this is an act, it's a bloody good one. I'll be buggered if I know what to believe half the time.
Yeah, that makes at least two of us.
So, what's your opinion of Flynn and her counsel now?
Why?
Oh, you've got to be joking. They could have had you put away for life.
No, they were trying to help me. They took the blame.
Oh, yeah? And if that helped you any more, Reno would have brought back the death penalty and hung you.
Look, Lou, I don't know what you want, but I would like to be left...
Let's just say that I've been thinking about the old times. When you and me had this place tied up. Oh, yeah. Well, I reckon we can do it again. You, me and Lurch.
But Nora said...
Flynn's finished and so is her counsel.
Well, what about the women? Are they going to let you take over?
They'll do as they're bloody told. I mean, let's face facts, Keene. What if you don't get out of this dump? What are you going to do? Stick with Flynn and her bunch of losers? Or come with me and do it like we used to? Well?
Go to hell, Fulbright. Go to hell.
Anything?
Oh, not really. Just making notes in case I have to come back to it.
What are you on?
Symptoms of paranoid schizophrenia.
Hell, that's a bit heavy, isn't it? Do you reckon it applies to Rick?
Well, I wasn't going to bother with it. Then I read this. Listen. A schizoid personality usually suffers from constant suspicion and resentment, i.e. a fear that people are plotting to destroy the sufferer. Well, I'd say that's pretty close to Reb, wouldn't you?
Pretty close to 75% of the women in Wentworth.
Waste of time, then.
No, keep at it. I can't find anything to take notes on.
Weren't you two at lunch?
Going to the second sitting, Miss Ferguson.
See, what's all this? Improving our minds, are we? Answer me, Flynn. There is such a charge as dumb insolence, you know.
Just reading, Miss Ferguson.
Oh, I see. Suppose you've got more time on your hands these days, eh? Heard you were stood down as top dog.
She wasn't stood down.
I wasn't talking to you, Egbert. Get back to your picture book. Still, I'm not surprised. It's a pity, though. We had such high hopes for that council of yours.
Not mine, the women's.
Oh, yes, yes. Democracy and all that. Any prizes for guessing who the new top dog is?
There isn't one. Not yet.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I heard on the grapevine that you've got the final approval. Well, I guess that excludes Lou Kelly, eh?
It excludes anyone who isn't prepared to protect the women against extortion, rackets, unfair treatment. And you.
Well, that excludes everyone. Return the books before you go to lunch.
Come on, Nora, don't let her upset you.
Oh, she's right, you know. There's no one who can stand up to her, no one.
But why? One minute you say won't touch the case with a barge pole, then you change your
wouldn't.
mind.
That lady is murder.
Oh, very funny. Would you like a scotch?
Yes, please. No ice. Anyway, it's got nothing to do with the case. It's David I'm worried about.
Because of Eve, but why?
It's obvious.
Jan, hi.
Hi, Jenny. Didn't see you there.
Do you think he can win it?
What?
The Wilder case. Ben, you really don't want to talk about this, do you?
Oh, at last the penny drops. No, I do not.
Well, I do. I have met that lady, and if she's a murderer, I'm a third cousin to a monkey's uncle.
All right, then. Hello, room service. Yes, could you bring up some grapes, nuts, and a bunch of
Ben,
bananas?
stop it, I'm serious.
Just think, I'll be the first man in all time to marry a primate dressed in Japanese drag. No, darling, she is guilty and David knows it. Now, instead of dumping her and letting somebody else take the case...
Excuse me. I know Eve Wilder. I happen to think she's innocent.
Jenny, you do not know the facts.
Perhaps not, but neither will the jury if you get your way. Dump her, I think you said.
Jenny, he didn't mean
He
it
said
literally.
it. Well, I've been stuck in that place, and there were times when everyone had dumped me too. Try it sometime. It's a wonderful feeling.
Jenny, you were innocent. You had a case to present to court.
Not according to my first legal gentleman. As far as he was
Yes,
concerned...
I'm sorry. I am sorry.
So am I. I'm sorry for all the women that are in that place because most of the legal profession think like you. Dump her. I had to go back there today. I had to tell Lexi that her mother had disowned her. Oh, she pretended she didn't care, but I know better. It's incredible how noise carries in that place, especially after lights out. The crying. Well, that's what Lexi will be doing tonight. Forget? Oh, no, Ben. No, don't you worry yourself about it. No, you and Ben concentrate on this wonderful wedding. It's far more important. Jenny.
How is she?
I don't know. She won't speak to me. Ben, how can she think that of us?
I suppose if we'd spent time inside, we might feel the same way.
But all we said was
Doesn't
about...
matter what we said, darling. Think what she's been through. Must have been a nightmare, especially for someone like Jen.
Darling, what's wrong?
See what I just said? Why should it be any worse for Jenny? Why can it be just as bad for some street kid? Oh, no wonder she flipped if that's what we're saying.
We didn't mean anything by it. I mean, we're allowed our opinion, surely.
Yeah, sure, yes, as long as it's not stupid and naive. We have been acting a bit poncy lately, you know. Your promotion, a wedding, clothes.
I've been thinking about that. The wedding, I mean.
Me too.
Ben, I don't care if it's Latvian, Japanese, or just the registry office. As long as we're married.
Sure.
No, Sue, all I'm saying is stand by just in case. All right, I'll let you know.
Wanted to see me?
Yes, Meg, just a minute. Roger and Reynolds, I've contacted the other blocks and there'll be 5 officers if you need them. Yes, but don't forget the 2 police. All right, thanks. What's going on? Just had a call from the police. They're bringing in 2 new inmates. Apparently they've picked up an escort of bikies on the way.
Bikies?
Oh, just 3 or 4. So far they're keeping their distance, but I'm taking no chances. I want you to help with the induction. I wonder who they're sending us this time.
It's a perfectly simple question. $100,000 and a gun. Would you use it?
No! No, I wouldn't. But I did. So I must be lying. So why are you wasting your time?
Well, why wouldn't you? When you have the gun, you have an old man as a hostage. He's not going to give you any trouble, so why not?
Miss Ferguson's father you're talking about?
What about in here? You having any trouble with the women?
No. Well, they're friendly, most of them anyway.
Oh, and how do you deal with the others?
Well, I don't know. I don't have much to do with them.
You mean you get someone else to bash them up for you?
No!
Well, why not? You're the top dog, aren't you? Or you want to be. Isn't that the usual thing for the top dog to do?
Yes, I suppose
The last
so, but
time I
that's not...
talked to you, you told me in great detail...
I know what I said! But I thought you were going to put me back in Ingleside. I lied, all right? You don't know what it's like in there. I just couldn't know.
All right, Rebecca. No more questions.
Look, I know everybody's telling the truth. Well, there must be. I couldn't do those things now. I just couldn't.
I know. I'm sorry, but I had to be sure.
He used to give me roses. I wish he could again. But that was on the outside, and things were different then. On the inside, the sun still shines, and the rain falls down. But the sun and rain are prisoners too when morning comes around. Last night I dreamed we were together, sharing all the love we'd known, till I had to face the nightmare of waking up alone. On the inside the roses grow, they don't mind the stony ground, but the roses here are prisoners too when morning comes around.